Ding dong YouTube! Welcome back to the channel. I'm the professional nerd here, and today we're going to be going over everything wrong with Upwork. Now, if you're not familiar with Upwork, it was previously known as Elance Odesk, but was rebranded in 2015 as Upwork. Now, Upwork is an online freelancing site where you can go out and find jobs and live the digital nomad dream life without answering to any boss or any company or any organization. Except it's not quite so simple. Now, if you're currently working and planning to quit your job and go the digital nomad life and think that you're going to make all of your bills and make all this awesome revenue from working through Upwork, you should possibly consider what I have to say first. Unfortunately, in my situation, I basically had no choice. I was forced to go out and look for this work, and I can tell you right now, I have not made enough to cover bills. I have made money, though, by working on Upwork. So if you want to do this in addition to having a stable employment so that you're not facing maybe getting kicked out of your house or being able to cover rent or can't afford food, then definitely go ahead and maybe look and try and find some some additional freelancing jobs on Upwork. But I can tell you right now, you're not just going to jump on the site and find a lot of work and get the jobs that are going to pay really well. Now, for the most part, you can apply to just about any job that Upwork offers. Like, they don't have any restrictions on your account when you first join. There's nothing like that. But the chances of you getting hired without having any previous experience, it's very slim, very small. You need to start with some of the smaller jobs and then work your way up eventually. And in my case, I'm still kind of stuck in that smaller mid-range job. I haven't really found anything big, any big contracts that I can use for stable income on Upwork. So I'll jump over to the site here now to show you exactly what I mean. So when you first log into Upwork, you land on your dashboard here, which is basically your feed. And so you've picked from a series of different categories that will throw jobs into your feed. And it gets updated fairly fast. As you can see, this most recent job was posted just 7 minutes ago. If I refresh their page, there may even be another job above that. And so the feed does a very good job at keeping the most up-to-date, most recent jobs at the very top of the list. So you can see over here on the side, I have flagged any mobile or web or mobile design experience. Those types of jobs. So you can scroll down, see all the jobs that require there as well. Because I'm doing the software design, I have in my categories, I have web development, QA and testing, mobile development, game development, data entry. And if you click on the edit icon here, you can see there's a whole list of other things that I just haven't checked off. There's video production, technical writing, there's data entry, there's all sorts of different things, copywriting. And so if those skills apply to you, then you can look for those jobs as well. That's the thing about freelancing, is it's not just software and computer related work. I can guarantee you there's just about something that everybody can find that they can do for freelance work, whether it's writing articles or blogs or doing voice talent for some video game production or making art on the computer. All those different jobs are available through Upwork. Now, the first problem with Upwork is that in order to apply for any jobs, you're going to have to use what they call connects. So on the side here, you can see I have 60 available connects, and I'll get back to those in a bit, but I'll just show you. For example, I click on this job, and it'll tell you this requires 2 connects to submit a proposal. So if I submit for this job and I don't hear anything back, those connects are gone. If the job gets closed, then the connects will get redeposited into the account. But until that point, it's like a token-based system. That way it prevents spamming and flooding of the system, but it also means that it will limit the amount of potential work that you could be doing. Now, the connects are a monthly token-based system, and so they will reset at the end of each month, going back to their full amount, and then you can go out and apply to a bunch of other jobs. Now, in my personal experience, I don't spend a lot of time throughout the week on Upwork actually applying for jobs, and so I honestly haven't used my full amount of connects in a single month. But for somebody who wants to sit there and spend their entire focus on this website to try and find connects, they could easily spend all of those job applications in a couple days, maybe a week at most. I mean, it's 60, and most jobs take about 2. Some special bigger type jobs will maybe be 4 or 6 or more, but that's about 2, 30-day month, that's about 2 jobs that you can apply to. And so that's about 1 job every single day with, 2 connects per each job. Now, if you want, you can actually upgrade to a membership through Upwork. And Upwork's membership is, I think, 70 connects it'll give you. So 60 per month. And then if you click more about rolling over on the connects. Yeah, so if you go and you want to edit your membership plan, you just go to your settings, you click on the membership plan, and for $10 a month, you get 70 connects per month. And those are accumulating. So the thing about the 60 connects is that's it for the free plan at the base level. For 70 connects per month, it goes up every single month when you don't use them. So you can actually collect them over time, and then they roll over up to 140. So after 2 months, though, that's the cap. And then if you want to buy additional connects, it's $1 per connect. And so that's one of the techniques that Upwork uses themselves to make money. So what's great about the Connect system is it, in theory at least, prevents spamming and flooding of the system, and it's free. So Upwork is free to use, free to sign up for, except, wait, no it isn't. At least not anymore. So if I go over here, I got this email just 2 days ago. Hi Evan, I'm writing to tell you about an upcoming change to Upwork's Connect pricing. Starting in May, Connects will cost 15 cents each, with no free connects. You'll need between 1 and 6 connects depending on the job to submit a proposal. On average, most freelancers will spend about $5 per month or less on connects. And that's $5 per month even if you don't find work, even if nobody hires you. That's just money gone out of your pocket. And so, thanks, Stephanie Carousel. I don't have enough money to burn. I just want to send you all I can. I mean, no, I get it. Everybody's got to make money. Everybody's got to do a hustle. Everybody's got to find that one thing that they can use against you to charge you extra money here and there and everywhere. And so, like I said, I just don't have enough money to burn. If the fact that Upwork was no longer going to be free come May, which is not very long from now, if that's not already something that's very wrong with the system, I'll show you something else. So if I go over to my reports and I go to the overview, you can actually see that I have made some money using Upwork. So you can see I have $100 at the moment for work in progress. I have $24 available, but the problem with the available is that you need to have $100 minimum in your account to actually pull out of that. So if you're in a situation where you literally can't afford food and you have $24 in your account, it might be nice to get a little bit of that money, but you can't touch that money until you reach that threshold of $100. And so if nobody hires you on Upwork to do any further work, that money just sits there untouched. Now, I live in Canada, and so the nice thing about Upwork is that it is in US dollars, which means $24 for me is like 35 whatever Canadian dollars. It's quite a lot. And when you get $100, that's like 120 or 130 Canadian dollars. And so you get a little bit of extra there, but that's also taken off from what you're paid out. So I have $100 in progress here, but Upwork takes a 20% commission from that. So whenever I finish this job and submit it and it gets sent back from the client that they've accepted the work I've given them, then $20 gets sent to Upwork in the escrow and $80 gets sent to me. And 20% can be a pretty steep charge actually, especially when you get contracts that are like $200 or $300 and then you're looking at spending $60 or more just on fees to Upwork. Now, another problem that I have with the payment system of Upwork is once the work is approved, this $80 that I'll get goes from work in progress, it goes into review, and then it goes pending. And so in the pending cycle, it sits there for 5 full business days. And so if I finish a job midweek on Wednesday, then it'll sit there for Thursday, Friday, over the weekend, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, before it actually gets sent into available. available. Once it's in available, the payment schedules work on a weekly basis, and I think it's every Wednesday. And so then you could have a situation where you've done the work and you've been paid, and you won't get that pay for like 2 weeks because of the whole pay cycle. And then even then, when the money gets sent to your bank account, it usually takes 3 or 4 days to actually show up in your account. So you're looking now at not getting that money from the work that you've done for 3 weeks, maybe even close to a month. And so if you have a backlog of work and you work that up and you're building and building and building your business, then over time that will just become steady pay. But if you have a situation where for several weeks or several months you're just not getting any leads, then the well runs dry and now you're screwed because you have to wait 3 weeks before the next pay can come. And so you can see they've got a link down here. When will I get paid? You can click on that to get some support help. And so they do have different payment options. Direct to US bank, direct to local bank, bank codes, PayPal. Now, so I am in Canada and Upwork is based in the States from what I understand. So if you're living in America, maybe the pay situation is a little bit better for you, that you won't have to wait that full 3 weeks to get your pay. But in Canada, at least, it's not going to be easy, fast money. You need to sit and wait on that money. I'll take you up to the top here under reports. I'll show you my certificate of earnings. So if I open it up here on the PDF, I just blurred out some address information there. But you can essentially see, maybe I'll scroll in so I can get it above the video at the bottom. So between May 1st of 2018, I got $564 and then that was just that 1 month. For November, I got another $564. For February, I just got $220 and that I haven't got anything for January. There was nothing in December. There hasn't been anything for March. Now it's April and I haven't had anything. And so that's a little bit of income, like I said, but it doesn't cover rent. And so back on the main page here, I've gone over to the Connects history to show you. Here I've flagged it under the last 90 days, which is the past 3 months. So that'll go back to about the beginning of January. And I'll show you all of the Connects that I've used. So these are the jobs that I've applied to, whether or not I've actually been hired by anybody to do anything for them. And you can see I've applied for quite a lot. I scroll down. This is page 1. And there's a second page here. And then in a third page. And so there's like a good 100+ jobs in there that I've all applied to. And I haven't got any leads from any of them. So the few jobs that I have got, I mean, that's like, what, 3 or 4 jobs that I've had in 100 applications. That's like a 4% ratio of applications to job success. Now, just so you understand the actual process of applying for a job, I'll show you what that's like. So if I go down here on Upwork and it'll bring up my feed, I can see all the jobs that are available. So I'll just go with the first one or maybe the second job that pops up. So need a website for nutritional therapist using Wix, posted 31 minutes ago. So I click on this and it shows you they want expert level. I'm willing to pay higher rates for the most experienced freelancer. They have a fixed price of $400 and then they have a question. You will be asked to answer the following question when submitting the proposal. What past jobs have you done that have the most like this? One and why? And so you can see the invite sent. 0 people have applied to this job, although it was only posted 31 minutes ago, and he's interviewing 0. So let's go with something like game development, which gets less postings per hour. And I'll scroll down a bit to find a job that's been around for a couple hours or maybe even a couple days. So let's go page 3. Let's go with who can create a PowerPoint game for me. So they have an estimated budget of $15. And so you can see there's also qualifications that require for certain jobs. Job success score, at least 90%. And that also means, so that means that the jobs that you've taken where the client was happy and they gave you a good rating, sometimes the client doesn't give you a good rating. And then include rising talent, yes, and they have specifications for that. So that doesn't mean that you can't apply for this job. I can still physically apply if I click on submit proposal. It just means that I have a less chance of getting that job. You can see they've already hired one person, they're interviewing 2, and there's 7 invites, and you can see, so this says who can create a PowerPoint game such as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the fixed price is $15. So consider this. I don't personally know myself how to make a game in PowerPoint, but that would take, I don't know, maybe a couple hours to research and figure out, and then it would be at least a couple hours implementing it. And so that $15 is also at the 80% that Upwork takes. And like none of this even counts taxes. So you get $12 from Upwork that still has to get taxed, and that's for what, 4 hours maybe to put this thing together. And so you can see I can click submit a proposal, and it's as easy as just typing, hey, I can do this for you. Like, you don't have to submit a resume, you don't have to submit any information about yourself to prove that you know what you're doing. You just literally say, how long will the project take? Less than a week. Cover letter. You can write up a really nice fancy cover letter. I can also say, I can do this for you. Done. Attachments. If you want, you can maybe throw your resume in there. Upwork fee, $15. Service fee, $3. You get paid $12 before taxes. And so click down here, submit proposal, boom. It'll give you this things you need to know, continue to submit. And so now you can see I've applied for that job, cover letter. I can do this for you. It says that it took 2 connects, 4 applications total. And so if I go back to the main feed page and I refresh, it should show up now with having 58 connects. And so I just wasted 2 connects on that to show you what the process is like. But it's not a very nice place. I mean, that's nowhere near minimum wage. That's like slave labor wage. Come on. Upwork, I just want to show the number of connects. I don't know why. For some reason, it still shows I have 60 connects. Oh, no, there it is. 58. Yeah, 58. So I just wasted 2 connects on that. And assuming I do get hired to do that, now I'm looking at a 4 or 5 hour time investment that I'm going to get paid $12 for. Like I said, it's slave labor. And so I'll show you on the contracts page exactly what I'm talking about here. So these are all of the jobs that I have been hired to do. So for example, you can see posting to website and social media pages with a budget of $300. And that job fell flat because the guy didn't provide enough information for me to actually work off of. And then he just fired me, I guess, and went on to somebody else. And so I had about a $200 budget for another project that I did that was dashboard creation from an uploaded CSV. That was about the best job that I actually did on Upwork, because the other ones you can see $15, $15, $15. This is like some kid in India that is hiring me every 2 weeks to do his homework for him, like literally. And so you can see a simple 2D game in C++, max 2 pages with a $15 budget. Yeah, it was simple. It was a C++ program, but it still took me 3 hours to write. So $12 that I made divided by 3 hours, $4 an hour, before US dollars, so it might be, 7 Canadian dollars. That's still not minimum wage. So even if, yeah, it was tech. I got to program, I got to work at home, but I could have made more money flipping burgers at McDonald's. And that doesn't even cover the flat-out scams, like legitimately illegal scams that I have encountered on Upwork. And so I'll show you, too, what I'm talking about now. If I go over to messages, it'll have some of the messages. I may have to blur some of them out so that no personal information is leaked, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I scroll down here, one of the very first things that I ever got a message from while I was on Upwork, it was well, this summer, it will be 3 summers ago, in summer 2016, I got a message from XTO Energy by this guy, Bersh Niril. And that's not even the name that I remember. Oh no, it was this guy named Michael Scott. And that's definitely not his real name because he's a professional scam artist. And so he was claiming to be a representative from some oil company in Texas. And I looked it up, XTO Energy. And yes, there is an oil company in Texas. And so he hired me and we were communicating using Google Hangouts. And he had told me that they had software that I needed to download on my computer in order to work for them as some data management person, whatever, send and submit data. And so they wanted to send me the money to buy the software. And the software in particular, in this particular case, would have cost $2,300 US. Now that may sound very expensive for software, but I can believe that an oil company has the money to burn on $2,300 US software, and that they would send me this software that I needed. And I actually received a check in my name for the sum of $2,300 US, and I tried to deposit that at my bank. Now, at the time, I wasn't aware that Canadian banks place 15 business day holds on checks written in US dollars. So he wanted me to go and send the money through MoneyGram at Walmart to some vendor that he claimed was the guy who owned the rights of the software. And so I went to do this, but because the bank had placed a hold on it, that I didn't have that money in the account to send. And when I tried to send that much money from my account that wasn't actually there, the bank froze my account. And the entire time, I still thought this was legitimate. I thought I was fighting the bank. I thought I was fighting the government. I mean, I was having everybody, friends and my parents tell me like, hey, this doesn't sound legitimate. This sounds pretty sketchy. But I didn't have any other choices because I had already done the X, Y, and Z of applying for legitimate jobs. I sent out my resumes. I went to Walmart and I went to McDonald's and I applied there and nobody wanted to hire me. I applied to several gyms in town to work at the main front desk as a receptionist, and they don't hire anybody unless you have like a certified personal training degree or something. And so I went to these places looking for work. I had nothing. I tried to find computer related jobs that were co-op or internship jobs, and there was nothing. So I went to the internet and I went to Upwork and I got hired by this scam artist on Upwork. And it resulted in a case that was at least a month dealing with police in this whole thing. Now, I may make a video in the future going more in detail on the specifics of what actually happened. But the point is, this is a scam artist who was on Upwork. And so if you think you're going to find legitimate work, yeah, there is legitimate work there. I mean, doing some Indian kid's homework is legitimate work, maybe. It might be a scam for him and his grades and the fact that his teacher thinks the stuff came from him. But then you get stuff that's a legitimate scam like this. And so you need to be very careful what you're doing when you're looking for online freelancing. Now, unfortunately for me and all other users of Upwork that are subjugated to this, there doesn't seem to be any protection program in place for scams like this to prevent you from being scammed. And so I'll show you another example here. If I flip over to my proposals tab, I got contacted by somebody who sent me this message, Tech in Burnaby. Well, how convenient that a remote job happens to be located in the same city I live in, Burnaby, Canada. And yet over here, the location says Sao Paulo, Brazil. So this is clearly a scam, and yet it's there on Upwork. And the only reason it probably says Tech in Burnaby is because they're trying to cater to the fact that my resume, if they manage to find it somewhere, or they look at my profile and it has my address, it has that information on it. Now, before I finish, the last thing I want to cover as well is the mobile application, because Upwork has a pretty shitty mobile application. So if you can see it in the camera, I don't know how good the display is with the phone, but that's the application there. And the number one thing that really bothers me about the application is there's absolutely nothing in it for the reports. There's the messages and the job invitations. There's the jobs you're currently working and the offers you've submitted. But there is no way in the application to get the reports or any statistics or data about your reports or the money you've made or the money you currently have in your account. And so if you're thinking you're going to go off and work with your phone, maybe you don't even own a laptop, then you still need to be bouncing between the app and the internet, or just using it internet full time, the internet browser on your phone, because you're not going to be able to find any information about the money you have. As well, there's nothing in here about the connects I have. I have 58 connects left. I can't seem to find it. And I don't know. It's not very user friendly. Let me put it that way. And so that'll probably be all for this video. I've rambled on for quite a bit, but I'll give you the opportunity below if you notice there's other problems or issues with Upwork. And if I find any more, then I'm sure I'll find more, then who knows, maybe I'll do a second part video in the future about everything wrong with Upwork. And well, thanks for watching. Bye.